Coach, I think one of the biggest plays of the game was that fake punt earlier in the game. It kind of flipped the momentum. What were you thinking with that play, and why did you feel like that was the right time?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were absolutely on fire offensively, and credit to them. And they played one heck of a game. They're good. They're really, really good. And, I just felt like at that point it was, 14-7? Was it a 7-point game? Yeah, it was a 7-point game. And I just thought, golly, I don't know. I can't imagine what a goose would do if it tried to intake X-Lax or something like that. But they were going through us, and we were playing solid football. The guy was making pinpoint throws. They're large up front, so you get swallowed up a little bit on all especially their outside zone plays. And we just had to find a way to hang in the game. And that's really what it was, quite frankly, the whole first half.
Zach Larrier goes down in the fourth quarter and Jensen Jones comes in. How did that kind of change what you guys were planning to do offensively, just how you guys ran the offense?
It didn't. There are a lot of similarities, and I realize in this world we're all our own person, and he is too, just like you are athletically also. But he's worked hard for any opportunity that's there.
And then to follow up on that, just a few plays later after that injury, that big run by John Lee Eldridge, what impressed you about that? Just, I feel like he's had a lot of those kind of highlight reel runs this year.
I do too. I agree with you. Obviously, he'd love to have more carries, but he cares. We got a bunch of guys that, it means a lot to him in terms of the heart we have. I mean, there is a part of it, truly. You're sitting here a little bit, you're thinking, how did we do that? I mean, to be real, but we just hung in there and hung in there and hung in there. And it's, you got to do that.
Speaking of hanging in there, your defense has given up, I believe, 6 points in the second half in the last 3 games. What is it about that unit that just plays better football in the second half?
I do think at halftime we tend to do a heck of a job making adjustments all the way around. That's special teams offensively and defensively. And I thought we did defensively more than anything else. I'll tell you what is hard. Whenever you do have an off week, for us, because our bodies are so much smaller than everybody we play against, you don't have that recall of just playing a game. That helps you when you got to go play again. I think especially defensively, whether it's especially open field tackling, that's probably where it's most comes into play. And so, it probably took us a little bit, honestly, a half, especially as big and how well they move. You can't resemble that during your week.
Hi, Coach. Ariel Orsuto, 9 News. I want to talk about bigger picture. This is one of the teams that's at the top of the conference. You guys just took them down. What does this mean in the greater scheme of things?
Yeah, we didn't take them down. They're in a lot of ways. I don't want to say we're lucky or we're fortunate. Our guys played their hearts out, and their guys did too. And we aren't going to get enamored with that. Really, we got to learn, and we got to get better. And we didn't play our best football. I think our best football is in front of us. And yet, like I've said, I know repeatedly here, just the resolve. Let's be real. How often do we match up to be real in a good number of games? But if we can just get in some games and get in it in the fourth quarter.
Well, Coach, kind of following up on that question, though, you guys are going to start getting some attention nationally here. You might be ranked next week. How do you handle what's going to become noise from the outside now?
Yeah, our guys, we're on to the next practice to learn from a game and to move forward. Because what's that mean? What's it really mean? Yeah.
And I guess the last thing I would say is this game, a couple different times, could have gone sideways, and you've talked about your team's toughness and resilience and intelligence all year long. To see them come out and handle themselves the way they did in a 14-0 hole with the fumbles and everything.
Yeah, I think you're understating it when you say just a couple of times. There were a good number of times during that game. How quickly it went to 14-0. like I said, I mean, we just found a way, which you have to. And you aren't always going to do that. We can't play that way again and count on that kind of result. But I think our guys have enough maturity to know that too.
2 weeks ago, Coach, I asked you about the timing of the bye week. Seeing the results tonight, getting the win, how much do you think that helped you guys?
I don't know if it did, to be real. We did practice really, really hard last week. But like I said, it's just so hard to – we just don't have as large of bodies as the people you play against, and how dynamic, especially in the open field, people are. Just that you just can't create that in practice, no matter how hard you attempt to do so.
To start the second half, your offense was very efficient, 10-plus drive, and then you had a field goal there to start the fourth quarter. Were you kind of pleased the way your offense was kind of moving the football?
Well, at that point, you have to be, right? Because that drive consumed over 10 minutes. I think it gave us a chance maybe to settle a little bit defensively, piggyback that upon halftime too. And then the next drive, we missed a throw over on the sideline to Caleb that if we hit that throw, maybe, but we were able to hit a clutch field goal, Matty was.
John, Owen, I mean, you guys both had pretty big plays in this game, but Owen, I'll start with you. The fake punt, I mean, walk me through what was supposed to happen on that play, went right, and, I mean, what was going through your head before it started?
What was supposed to happen was what happened. It was perfectly drawn up. We've been practicing that since fall camp. Ran with it and then opened it up and it was perfect.
And then, John, I mean, after the back-to-back fumbles, I know that can be very deflating, but then to get that run to win the game, I mean, what were you trying to do on that play? What was going through your mind before that final drive after those 2 fumbles?
We went out there on that final drive and we just knew we had to score. On that play, we seen that there was a corner over and I just knew it was going to be pitched. And after that, I seen daylight.
John, the volume of carries might not be what it's been in the past for you, but you look at just the success you've had with some of those breakout plays, getting a lot of yards per carry. Just how have you embraced this new role that you're in?
My mom always tell me it's not about how many times you get it, but it's about what you do when you get it. So I just go out there and put my maximum effort into everything I do.
John, after Zach went down, what was kind of the message with Jones and kind of how you wanted to kind of like pump him up maybe a little bit or just keep playing like you've been playing?
The message with Jones is just, go out there and do everything we practiced in all season. I knew he was ready. I knew he was ready to lead the team, and that's what he did.
Guys, I want to talk the kind of bigger picture here. That was obviously one of the best teams in the conference. To be able to go out there and have the game you did, and to be able to take them down in the fashion that you did with the resilience, what does that mean for this team going forward? Both of you, Owen, you can start if you'd like.
We just know who we are. We're going to kick you in the teeth, and we're going to go at you every play. Good things are going to happen, bad things are going to happen, but we're going to keep moving forward, and we're never going to quit. And I think that's what we're going to do the rest of the season. So,
yeah, kind of like Owen said, our big focus and pride for our team is just power and strength, and that's what we go out there and show every week. And our next focus is the next game.
John, so kind of another one on that run. As you're going, and you're heading to the end zone, what's going through your head as you realize you crossed the goal line, you just gave your team the lead? What's the thought that's going through your mind?
I was praying right before that drive, and I was just like, God is amazing. He let it happen.
What is it about you guys in the second half? You really turn it on. You start getting pressure. You start making plays. What is it about you guys in the second half that you really start playing better?
Obviously everybody wants to come out faster in the first half, but I feel like in the second half, we just all come in, look at each other, and just remember who we're playing for. We're not doing it for ourselves or, some fans or our future. We're doing it for our brothers. So I feel like every time, we're down in the second half, we just look at each other and we're doing this for each other. It kind of reinvigorates us.
Is there any kind of adjustments that you guys made with Peasley, maybe trying to contain him a little bit more?
No, we literally ran the exact same stuff, and it's just when we got in there, we literally we know what we're gonna do. We're not gonna change anything. It's time to just go do it.
All right, so 14-0. game could have gone sideways. 2 fumbles deep in your own territory, game could have gone sideways. What does it say about the toughness and the resilience of this team that you guys had those moments of adversity and you were able to hold tight?
I would say the guys that we have in this corner, offense, defense, special teams, we all click together. We all work together. We know each other really well on and off the field, and we're blessed to have each other's backs the way that we do. There's an 8-minute segment between the first half and second half that you want to win. 4 minutes in the latter part of the first half and 4 minutes in the beginning of the second half, and we did that, especially with our offense, and that just carried our defense a little bit, and then our defense carried our offense a little bit. It's a nice little thing that we got going on, so we're blessed.
Trey, on the blocked extra point, I mean, obviously, huge moment for the team. They just scored a touchdown. It looks like you're about to be trailing. I mean, what went so right on that play, and what can a play like that do for a team? Because then obviously subsequently you get the touchdown on the other end. What can that do for a team?
First of all, I want to say Alex Means is a genius. We included that play on Thursday of this week and just ran it in practice to see what it looked like because he saw something in their front that we could expose a little bit, and we did, and opened up, and my eyes got wide, and left hand went up, and it got it. So.
When I think a lot of times you think of football as offense, defense, special teams can kind of get ignored sometimes, but the fake punt, the blocked PAT, I mean, how much is that a focus for you guys, and how huge, obviously, did that come up for you today?
Well, I would say it's a huge focus. We practice stuff like that every single day in practice, and it's awesome when we're actually able to utilize it in the field of play. And seeing it actually work is pretty damn cool, so we're happy.
Trey, last week you had your first touchdown since middle school. When was the last time you had blocked a PAT?
Middle school. That's actually a funny question. And it was when we couldn't go at the hike, so I actually jumped over somebody and made that one when I was little. So it was almost the same exact kick. And so it kind of came again. It was like PTSD. I saw it again, and I was like, oh, I got to do it. Got it.
Well, between those two.
Deja vu. Deja vu.
Between those 2 plays, the interception you had earlier in the year, what has helped you just develop so much in your senior year, do you think?
I think it's coaching, and I think it's being able to play more freely. I think that I was getting in my head a little bit last year, and this year I'm able to just do what I feel like I can do to help the team, do my 1/11th the best that I can, and it's working out.
What does this type of win, this kind of gritty type of win, what does it do for the rest of your season? PJ, if you want to start with this one.
To us, it just really shows no matter how down we get, we can always come back. We always keep fighting. We're never really out of the game. A lot of teams when they were down, 14 points or however many that we were down, they might just quit and just say, all right, game's over. We're gonna move towards next week. Especially knowing that we got Navy next week. But we were no. We got goals for this season. We got goals for this game. We're going to finish this game. We're going to come back and win.
Yeah, and we remember that feeling last year in Laramie. And I remember seeing the seniors' faces. I had tears falling on my face the rest of the night, and we just couldn't let that happen again. Last time they came in Falcon Stadium, they got their butts whooped, and same thing kind of happened this time. So I'm glad that we're able to get that win and move on with the rest of our season.
You just answered my question.
Yep. Kept receipts.